So you do believe that if we set it right now, 5 years later, there is still the thing that, because if I were to come back to the symptoms, and I think you already touched on the core, and you already addressed and talked about the core, but the symptom, the thing that people seem to be responding to now is the fight seems to have gone out of Sri Lankan cricket. Fight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's they've always, like you said, so many years you were in the top three. You wouldn't win every World Cup, but you were there, you were there, you were there, you were fighting everybody. And people to people, if you look at the talent, Mahela, if you look at Kusal Mendes, if you look at Karuna Ratne, if you look at Chandimal, if you look at Matthew, if you look at Gunatilake, if you look at some of the players, seems like there is talent.
Yes, but that I think that is a different issue that you need to address separately. That has nothing to do with the situation that we are in as a team. The fighting spirit and the level of consistency has gone down because the confidence is not there as a group.
Yes.
Right now, I personally don't think our guys are playing as a team.
Yes.
They are being pushed to a situation, they are being because of the selection policies, because of certain things that they've implemented in the last 2 years, the guys don't see them secure enough in the team first and foremost to play as a team.
Yes.
So therefore, they're actually playing for themselves, trying to hold a place.
Yeah.
The guy who's in the team is trying to do that. The guy who's waiting to come in also thinks, okay, if I don't perform in 2, 3, 4 games, I'm out.
Yes.
So that
So there's a lot of fear.
Fear of failure. That's the actual word. Fear of failure is creeped into the unit, and it's very hard for anyone to function in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
So the immediate solution for that is to try and rectify those issues, have a structure that settles a team, and have a policy that this is how we are going to play for the next 12 months or 15 months, and this is our game plan. This is the guys who are going to deliver that for us, and have a lot of faith and trust. If there are few injuries happens here and there, yes, you need to have adequate bench strength to do that. So you need to create a bench strength that could take that burden. I do not agree that we had, yes, there were injuries for us in the last 2 years, and because of that we had to make certain changes. But there is two things: the injuries and the changes wasn't the issue. We had other changes made which created this issue, and injuries had influenced that to an extent. Yes, then you can't keep the same group of players, but even the replacements wasn't ready for the job. So just kept bringing in, taking out guys until the main player would come in. So that doesn't help the bench to settle into a role either.
Yeah.
So there were, I'm not pointing fingers, I'm just analyzing what has happened in the last 2 years.
Sure.
So it wasn't just one series or the other, but it happened in a way that where we have created this environment, and it's not a great environment for the players to be in. And I do put a blame on the players as well. They haven't actually shown character in tough situations. They haven't really said, okay, everything's going against us, but still we're playing for Sri Lanka and we need to do something special. So that blame the players should take as well. They haven't played as a unit. I can see there's a bit of rift in here and there. I don't know what those situations are. So that's something that you need to rectify. We've had so many captains, we had so many different leaders been appointed.
Yeah. I mean, Harsha spoke in my Chat-athon saying, if I look at the Sri Lankan team, there are 5 captains in the field. And he mentioned that as one of the things.
We had few captains when we were playing as well, but who have done 2-3 years and then come off and said, no, I want the next guy to take over, I just want to concentrate. So those scenarios are different when you have what we had in the last 6 months. So see, that's where we don't see direction, and then the players don't see direction as well when you have different captains coming in and trying to create their own authority it's harder because then the next format there's a different guy. I mean, the modern day sometimes, yes, demand different captains for different formats, but if there is a quality guy, I mean, what now you've seen is obviously with Australia, they're trying to go back to that one captain
Yes.
who plays all formats.
Across all formats.
India is doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, Virat Kohli is proudly saying, I want to play in all formats.
Correct, and he's saying, okay, this is the this is the way I want to play, and this is the way this team is going to play. So
Yes.
we've created a culture.
Yes.
So South Africa has now gone to FAF as well. So FAF is, I saw the announcement, he's taken over the one-day job as well. So he'll lead all three formats for South Africa. So the teams who had experimented with this different captains with different formats are actually slowly going back to the old format and said, no, if there is a guy who can play all three formats and if he's good enough, then let him control the entire team, because then the players get settled into a certain pattern, a certain routine of how they want to play.
Sure.
And then the leadership gives you good directions.
Correct.
Right? But if there's no players who are going to play all three formats,
Yeah.
then it's a different story. Then you need to find guys who can actually be a leader just for that format.
Sure.
But the consistency comes if the direction is given consistently, saying that this is the way we need to play.